Hey guys, it's Melanie here from C.C.C.YA Books and More, and I am here to give you the top 5 male protagonists of this year, or up until this year. Of course, there's so many amazing male protagonists that are written in books on a constant basis, and here are the ones that really stood out to me, and I picked for different reasons, but the most important is that they really stood out to me. They seemed like great characters that I just couldn't stop thinking about, or that I thought about later on, and they really made an impression on me. And so here's my top 5. I am missing one, hence the video, the picture for the video. There's one missing, and I don't have that book, and it's Pride and Prejudice, Mr. Darcy. He is an incredible male protagonist, and I just love his character. I love his everything about him. He's just an incredible character. I think Jane Austen did an amazing job, and I don't think anybody could beat that. He's just like a superb protagonist that matches the female protagonist in that book, and I just think on all notes an incredible male protagonist for Mr. Darcy. Number 2 is, for me, Garrick in The Golden Braid. I think he has incredible character. I think he's very noble. I think he's very honest and funny, and I think he kind of battles his pride, and I think he's just a very real representation of a male protagonist who has a character arc of his own and develops in this book and becomes some hero, basically. And I really appreciate how Melanie Dickerson developed him as a character, and I think he's a really good male protagonist. Out of all of the Melanie Dickerson books, he keeps standing out to me, as well as another one, but this one here, I don't know, there's something about him as a male protagonist that I always think about as Sir Garrick. I always go back to, he stood out to me over and over again, and I compare him to some other male protagonists that Melanie Dickerson has written before, and by far this is one of my favorites out of that. So that's number 2, Garrick. Then I have, this one isn't a main protagonist, but he kind of is, and that is John. John is older. He is the father of one of the 10 in Anomaly, and Kristen McGee writes him as the light in the end of the tunnel sort of picture, but he also has had loss in his life, and his character is also being stretched, and you just fall in love with this guy as a father figure, as a grandfather figure. And John has stood out to me in a lot of different books that I've read, in different times that I've been in. I've thought back on his character and thought, well, I wonder what John would have thought, or I mean, he made such a big difference in this person's life, and you know, what was it about him that was so cool and so good. And yeah, this definitely was one of my favorite characters in Kristen McGee's book Anomaly and her whole series. And really, like, even going in through the next book, he just draws on your heart so much. I love this character, and he's definitely in the top 5 for me. Number 3 is John. These aren't in order of like the best to the worst. These are just the top 5. I don't think I could rank these in any sort of way, just because each are so vastly different and so awesome in their own right. So it'd be very difficult for me to sort of rate any one of these ones. And then we have The Secret of Pembroke Park, and our male protagonist here is William. He is the curate for Pembroke Park, and Abigail bumps into him and meets him, and these two have a unique relationship. But I really like William. His character is very noble, very respectful. He's just really just trying to do what's right and do what he can, and it's just, I love his love for the Lord. I love that he tries to do what's right, and yet he still struggles, and he still has his own character flaws that he has to deal with. He's a very real character to me, and I really appreciate him as like a lot. And out of all of, I was looking at her books as well, and Julia Clausen is an incredible writer. She has a wealth of characters to pull from, but I was thinking about another one, and her newest one is Ivy Hill, and I was really thinking about this one character in there, but William definitely topped that for me, and he will always be an all-time favorite for me as a character, and yes, definitely made it to the top 5 for me. Last but not least, I have Jude in A Time to Die. I also liked the other character that's closely linked to Jude. I can't say a lot. This is really difficult to make it non-spoilerly, but this person is very closely linked to Jude, and I really think his character is by far really good too, but he's kind of mysterious and I don't know a lot about him yet. But Jude, we learn about in this one, and her brother as well. Like, seriously, these male characters actually are very good, all of them. But Jude, especially to me, was flawed. He was imperfect, but he had a character arc of his own. And that character arc really drew me in, and it made me just really respect Jude and just think of him later on and all the things that he did and the elements of his life and who he was and the just his character. I just really loved his character, and definitely made it to the top 5 of my list. Sorry about the noise in the background. There's something going on over there and it is annoying for me too, but I can't help it. And so that is my top 5 male protagonists. I know you guys really liked the first one that I did, the top 5 female protagonists. These are my top 5 male protagonists. I'll probably do these again in a couple, like maybe every year. I might from now on start picking the top 5 of that year, or top 3. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon. Happy reading. Bye!